Welcome to Love in Life, a guide to a positive mindset. My aim is to show you that the key to a happier and more positive mind is to love the life you have. We will look at tips and tools you can use to improve your mindset, and the best thing is, we'll all be on this journey together. Welcome back to Love in Life, a guide to a positive mindset, where we've been looking for the last 5 episodes, we've been looking at the chakras. There are 7 energy centers in total, and today we talk about the third eye, which is the 6th chakra. But before I go on to that, I just want to say thank you so much to all of those of you who've left reviews for me, and I just want to say how much it means seeing your reviews, hearing your feedback, and hearing how anything that I talk about or any ideas that I prompt in you are helping just make your life a little bit more positive, because that is my absolute aim. Like, I don't pretend to have all the answers. I do a bit of research and pass on what I know and what I find out, and hope that it helps people. So it's amazing to hear when it does help people. But I have just had to stop halfway through my research on the third eye chakra, because I am so bloody excited about this one. And so I'm actually quite blown away by it so far. So I've had to stop halfway through my research and pass on the things that I'm finding out before I lose that momentum. So once I've got to a point of where I've got to, I'm going to have a little break, go and have some lunch, do a bit more research, and then I'll be back. But for now, let's talk about what the third eye chakra is. So I'm going to be referring a lot to my notes, because I have made a lot of notes for this one. It's something that I haven't really known too much about. The main thing I knew about it was that it's linked to intuition. So anything else I've found out today is completely new information for me. And yeah, like I said, I am completely mind blown by it. So it's pronounced Ajna in Sanskrit, and this translates to foremost. And this is the most prominent center of our consciousness and intuition. The third eye is linked to our inner wisdom and linked to our imagination. It's located in between the eyebrows, but it's it's located in between the eyebrows, but its exact location is 4 inches behind the eyebrows. So it's like in the middle of your forehead, but in the middle of your head, if that makes sense. It's near the pineal gland, which is in the center of your brain. Now, the pineal gland is gonna be quite a key factor in what I'm telling you today, in what I'm finding out. The pineal gland is, I think I might actually do a full-on episode on the pineal gland, because I've been looking, it's just blown me away. Anyway, it's going to be quite a key factor today. Okay, so the color that represents the third eye is indigo. And indigo represents wisdom and perception, which obviously is intuition. The element that represents the third eye is light and illumination. So, my thought on this is that it represents the light within you that brightens your path. If intuition is all about that inner knowing, it brightens your path. So the symbol that, I haven't really talked much about the symbols so far, but I found this one in particular, like maybe if I would have looked into it more on the others, I don't know, I might have found it a little bit more significant, but this one in particular is really significant. So the symbol for the third eye chakra is a triangle, an upside down triangle, which represents enlightenment. But the key thing for me here is that it's represented by a lotus flower with 2 petals. Most of them are represented by lotus flower in some way and with different amounts of petals. This one has 2 petals, so either side of the triangle. And these 2 petals represent the dualities of your life, your ego. So we've obviously talked about duality before, polarity, light and dark. So the light and dark sides of you, your likes and your dislikes, your feminine energy and your masculine energy. This is all about what those 2 petals represent is the 2 sides. Okay, so obviously intuition, we know what intuition is, but just so as we can be fully clear, I've just looked up definitions for intuition. And basically, what I've written down is that our brains analyze situations and probabilities before our conscious mind even has time to catch up. Our conscious mind is hindered by the ego and the past experiences, which then start to get in the way of our intuition. So, you know, that feeling when you just know something, like that first initial feeling sometimes you just know. But how many times have you then thought later on, after something's just happened, you've thought, I bloody had a feeling about that and I should have trusted it. Like that is because we've let our conscious mind get in the way. And if you think about the conscious part of our brain, this also includes like the conscious thoughts, obviously, are the ones that we're aware about, but the conscious mind also includes our subconscious. And the subconscious obviously carries all those past experiences that you don't necessarily think about all the time, but it's led you to forming beliefs, limiting beliefs to keep you safe. So all of those conscious thoughts, subconscious thoughts, they get in the way of our intuition. Like once our intuition kicks in, then our conscious mind kicks in. Another thing I've just written down is that when you tap into the Ajna, the third eye, you have an awareness of the world around you and your eyes are truly open. And do you know what this reminded me of? You know that episode in Friends where Ross and his unagi, he calls it a state of total awareness. And this is basically what your intuition is. If you are fully in tune with your inner wisdom and your intuition, you have a total state of awareness. You might think of it as a sixth sense when you just know something. Okay, so how does it become blocked? Now, this is the bit that I have gone down a little bit of a rabbit hole here. Okay, so as with all the chakras, stress and emotional upset can cause stagnant energy. We already know this. We've said this in every episode so far. Any form of stress can cause energy to become blocked. We know that because we know that it causes trapped emotions, stored energy. We know that. But because the pineal gland is the key factor here with the third eye, I don't know, this is what I've been led to focus on about how it becomes blocked. So the pineal gland's main job, and I'm not a scientist, I just want to add here, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but this has just intrigued me so much. And it's made me want to become a scientist and look more into the pineal gland and its main role, its main job and everything. But anyway, I am literally just telling you what I've researched this morning. That is the extent of my knowledge. It does make me want to look into it more. Okay, so the pineal gland's main job is to produce melatonin. And melatonin is the hormone that plays a vital role in our sleep patterns. But in order to produce melatonin, the pineal gland must receive information about light and dark. And this is what I thought was really interesting, going back to the two sides, the two petals on the symbol, the light and the dark. The pineal gland responds to physical darkness. So, like actual darkness in the nighttime. And that's when it produces most of the melatonin, allowing you to sleep at night rather than in the day. But obviously, if you think about it, we need to have the right amount of melatonin to induce that sleep at night. But it's that sleep at night that activates the pineal gland. So it's a bit of a cycle. Like sleep here is key. Healthy patterns are key. So therefore, any disruptions to sleep pattern can affect the pineal gland, and therefore the third eye. Now, there is quite a strong link without too much scientific evidence or research, which isn't a shock, between female hormones and melatonin, which this is making me want to go down a further rabbit hole and look at how menopause can affect the third eye. Like if you think how many women become stuck, become lost, we talk about midlife crisis, but actually I don't believe in midlife crisis. I believe that it's an awakening. But that feeling of stuck, that feeling of feeling lost, that is so linked to the third eye. When I carry on, you'll really see the significance, especially if you're a woman of my sort of age, perimenopausal. I am 42 next week. And I've been perimenopausal for about four years now. So yeah, I'm really finding this quite significant. Anyway, that is going to be a whole other episode. So what are the physical signs that your third eye is blocked? That, just going back, actually, that's not to say that men don't suffer with blocked third eye. Obviously, that is just my research that I've done that shows a really strong link between there is a lack of melatonin in perimenopausal women. There is a link between female hormones, the monthly cycle, and melatonin. But men need melatonin as well, obviously. Men need good sleep patterns. Men need to be able to have sleep to be able to function properly, just like women do. Anyway, so the physical signs of a blocked third eye, and I'm just going to try and get away from the pineal gland and the melatonin and just talk about the third eye. It all links in so many different times, which I don't need to necessarily point out to you. You'll see. But the physical signs are headaches, vision problems. So if you obviously think where the third eye is located, it's going to be in all of these sort of areas that the physical signs are going to be evident. So any hearing or ear-related problems, so whether that is lack of hearing, whether that is ears getting blocked up, waxy, or ear infections, any sinus problems, sleep problems, obviously. Any dizziness can be a sign of a blocked third eye. Memory problems, nightmares, again, going back to sleep problems, and migraines. So those are the physical signs. The emotional signs are having an overactive mind, overthinking, overanalyzing, being more in your head than in your heart. And obviously, as I said earlier, it's when the conscious mind kicks in. Like that overthinking is your conscious mind going wild. Other emotional signs are being judgmental, which I know I mentioned last week, but as we've said before, a lot of these cross over, obviously, the throat chakra, the next one after the throat chakra is the third eye. So obviously certain symptoms are going to cross over. Holding resentment, but resentment, to me, that is usually down to overthinking, not being able to let things go. So that makes sense to me. Second guessing yourself, again, overthinking, lacking in imagination. The third eye is very much linked to imagination and inner wisdom and obviously intuition. So lacking in imagination is an emotional sign of blocked energy there. Feeling stuck, can't see a way forward. I know this is going to resonate with quite a few people. Losing your connection, feeling like you've lost your connection with your inner wisdom, your trust, your knowledge, yourself, really. And if you have difficulty in seeing the bigger picture. And then finally, due to its location, again, a lot of mental illnesses are going to be a result of stagnant energy in that area. So depression and anxiety are highly linked to the third eye, as they are highly linked to the pineal gland. So what does an open third eye look like? Due to it being so closely linked to imagination, to intuition, to knowledge, inner wisdom, if your third eye has a healthy amount of energy that is able to rotate, obviously, as we've said, the chakras are all a wheel of energy that move round and round. So if it's able to move freely, then you're going to feel intelligent, like you've got that inner wisdom, insightful, inspired, because you've got imagination. You'll have a certain knowing and not feel the need to question it. Your overthinking isn't going to kick in, overanalyzing everything. You're just going to know, and that's all you need. You will be able to trust your decisions without overthinking everything. You'll be able to manifest well. So in order to manifest anything, we first need to be able to imagine it. So if we are more imaginative and in sync with our imagination, then you're going to be able to imagine it first. You're going to be able to create it, and you're going to be able to visualize it. You're going to have clarity of what you want, clarity on your desires. All those things that we've talked about in the lower chakras, your creativity, your desires, your emotions, you're going to be clear on them. You're going to be able to use them to your advantage. Okay, I'm going to have some lunch. I got very, very excited looking into the pineal gland, and I hope I've explained everything well so far. You're not going to know that I'm gone for long because obviously I'm going to edit, but I'm going to go and have a break, do a bit more research, have a bit of lunch, and I will be back. Right, I'm back. I've had my lunch. I've done the rest of my research on how we can unblock it. So let's get going. So far, we've talked about what the third eye is, how it becomes blocked, the signs that it's blocked, and the benefits of opening it up. So how do we go about blocking it? As always, we can use color therapy. The color for the third eye is indigo. Indigo is a mix of deep red and deep blue. The red represents vibrancy and the blue represents calmness. And I guess this makes total sense with the representation, the significance of the two lotus petals representing duality. You've got red and you've got blue. You've got vibrancy, you've got calmness. It's a spiritual color that repels bad, harmful thoughts, and lots of spiritual practices and lots of religions use indigo for representations of that deeper or higher level of consciousness. As always, we can wear the color, we can decorate with the color. Indigo is quite a nice color to have as a feature wall, I guess. I don't know, whatever your preference is. Yeah, you can actually buy color therapy glasses. How cool is that? Which help you see the color. So rather than having, if you didn't want to wear indigo, if you didn't want to decorate the house indigo, then you can wear these glasses that you will obviously see the world as indigo. And they recommend that you wear them for like between 10 and 30 minutes. Obviously, you don't want to wear them too much, but yeah, that's quite cool, I thought. The foods that we can eat to help unblock are dark blue and purple foods. So blueberries, blackberries, aubergines, plums, figs, grapes. Also purple versions of other color vegetables. So purple broccoli, purple kale, purple carrots. Also, due to its relation to the pineal gland, foods that aid purification. So think antioxidants like garlic, like lemon, like ginseng, watermelon, star anise. Essential oils for the third eye. Clary sage. Clary sage promotes feelings of wellness, feelings of calm. Clary sage helps reduce stress. And in one study, it showed it helps to lower blood pressure in women. Juniper. Juniper operates as a stimulant. So this means that it helps to overcome tiredness. It helps to cure lightheadedness, which funnily enough is what I use peppermint for. So I'm going to add peppermint to this list as well. Stimulates the mind. But peppermint actually does help enhance intuition, which obviously is exactly what we're looking for. Rosemary. Now, I've written down lots about rosemary. So rosemary reduces blood levels of cortisol. Cortisol is obviously the stress hormone. So rosemary helps to reduce the levels of this in your bloodstream. It's particularly good for women's hormones. So if you have excess estrogen, it's good for balancing your estrogen levels out. So it's good for those who suffer with heavy periods and other symptoms of high estrogen levels. It's good for menopause. And in particular, a combination of sage, rosemary, and lavender has proven to influence brain health and cognitive functions. So if you suffer with brain fog, with forgetfulness, with irritability, which are all one of the many, many symptoms of perimenopause. Lavender is great for headaches and migraines, and also helps to calm the mind. It's great for anxiety. It's great for reducing stress. And it's actually proven to help make decisions. So meditation is the next on my list. Meditation is key for the third eye because the third eye is quite often the focal point for meditations. So when you're relaxed, when you're getting into your relaxed state, and when your eyes are closed, if you slowly turn your focus to your third eye area, the space in between your eyebrows. And another tip that I can give you to help relax into this state is to push your tongue to the roof of your mouth and focus your energy on this area. Okay, so this is naturally calming, but it's great for meditation. When your actual eyes are closed, you take time to see through your third eye and see things that you wouldn't see through your actual eyes. It opens up your abilities to really see. The mantra Om is used for the third eye. So you can chant this mentally, or you can chant it out loud if you don't feel like too much of a dick, if you wish. So during your meditations, this is going to enhance even more your opening up of the third eye. The music frequency of 852 is one of the solfeggio frequencies. We've discussed these. This actually activates the pineal gland. It lowers anxiety. It helps you align with your natural rhythm. So it does this by encouraging deep sleep. And by doing this, it's used as a form of therapy for sleep-related illnesses. So insomnia, for example. If you play 852 at bedtime, along with having a good bedtime routine, like things that you do at that time every night. So my routine is coming up, taking off my makeup, having a bit of a, skin routine, getting into bed, putting my lavender on, putting my heart rose quartz underneath my pillow. Like that is all my routine. When I'm ready for sleep, I don't have any problems going to sleep, so I don't need to play any 852 frequency. But part of my routine is when I'm ready to go to sleep, I lie down, close my eyes, and I think of all the things that I'm grateful for that day. And I actually try and find the best thing that's happened that day, because what that does, I think I've talked about this before, what that does is it makes you scan through all the good things that have happened that day. So actually, even though you're trying to find the one thing that you're most grateful for, you're actually thinking of lots of lovely things that have happened that day and looking for the best one. And once I've done this, obviously I'm then in a state of gratitude, and that is when I'll go into manifesting mode and visualization, like trying to manifest through visualization of whatever it is I'm trying to manifest. I'm not going to lie, the thing I'm trying to manifest at the moment is a swimming pool for my garden. Yeah, so that is part of my bedtime routine. If you have things that it doesn't have to include visualization, it doesn't have to include manifesting, it doesn't have to include crystals or essential oils, any of the things that I have mentioned that I do, that's just what I do. But it is such a good idea to just repeat the same things over and over every single day before you go to bed. Because that is what tells your system it's bedtime, it's time to go to sleep, it's time to get a good night's sleep. And obviously by doing this, we're going to activate the pineal gland, which produces melatonin. Yeah. And it creates a bit of consistency. So that is going to help you get into a good pattern, which is only going to enhance the effectiveness of the pineal gland, opening up the third eye. Crystals that we can use. So azurite, a bright blue stone that is great for tapping into psychic abilities. And when I say psychic abilities, I'm not necessarily on about seeing into the future. I'm on about connecting with your higher self. Like this is all part of your intuition. This is all part of your inner knowledge. Like your higher self is your inner knowledge. Does that make sense? Tapping into your psychic abilities, fine-tuning your vision. So it can also be an emotional cleanser, and it connects the heart chakra to the third eye. Amethyst is a great one for all of the top chakras, to be honest, but it's a purple gem that is great for the third eye and the crown in particular. It's the stone of spirituality, and it helps to connect you to a higher realm. Again, going back to connecting to your higher self, divine energy from the universe, you know, whatever you believe in, whatever you want to connect with on that higher state of awareness. It also calms frustration. It helps get rid of headaches. It aids sleep. So I know a lot of people keep amethyst next to their bedside. I obviously swear by my rose quartz, so I would probably argue that that probably needs to go into this list as well, given that sleep is such an important part of the third eye, given its relation to the pineal gland. Amethyst also awakens psychic abilities and encourages you to leap higher and higher, without fear as well. Sodalite. So although sodalite is largely linked to the throat chakra, I know it's one of the ones that I mentioned in the last episode. It's great for bridging the gap between the lower chakras and the higher ones. It helps you move from negative to positive. And again, it's going back to those two petals of duality, negative and positive. Whilst keeping you connected to your inner truth. It encourages you to balance left and right sides of the brain, left and right sides of the brain. Again, the duality, but the left side of the brain is your logic side. Your right side of the brain is creativity. And obviously balancing the two, it keeps you level. And by using both sides of the brain, like this is a lot of what we do in, if you were to have a session with me, this is a lot of what we do in my sessions when I work with clients, is using both sides of the brain. It just allows you to access everything, like all parts of you. Clear quartz is the master healer, known as the master healer. It clears blockages. It helps with clarity and clear knowledge, which obviously is all linked to intuition and inner knowledge. It works on all the chakras, hence why it's a master healer. But it helps you, because it helps on all the chakras, it helps you link the lower chakras, the chakras to do with the self. So the things that you like, the things that, how you feel, your emotions, the things that you like, you dislike. It helps link those with the higher chakras, the more spiritual and higher consciousness. Citrine, which I know is one that I've mentioned before when it comes to the sacral and the solar plexus. This helps us by using citrine, particularly for the third eye as well. It just helps us on the path to a deeper sense of self. And that obviously leads us to that inner wisdom that we're talking about, the sense of self. Black tourmaline is another one that is linked with a different chakra. So that is linked with the root chakra, but it ensures that you feel safe whilst moving from survival mode into this deeper wisdom and higher thinking that we are striving for. Oh, I've written down here, I should have said this in the when I said about sleep. But pay attention to your dreams as well, because this is your subconscious trying to communicate with you. So if you have a vivid dream, write it down in the morning and just think what it's trying to tell you. Like some of our wacky dreams, they don't make much sense, But if you start to track them, if you're more aware of them, and by opening up the third eye, you will have more access to your subconscious mind, because you have a more that total awareness. Do you know what I mean? So you are going to have more access to your subconscious. So you might actually find that more vivid dreams start coming through to you. They might be wacky, but just look them up and see what their meaning is. Okay, so affirmations, as always, affirmations that we can use to open up the third eye. So these are all going to be about inner guidance and about intuition. So affirmations such as, I always trust my intuition. I am connected to the wisdom and the energy of the universe. I am crystal clear on the direction I want to take my life. That was actually one that I used with a client a couple of weeks ago, and the next couple actually. I have so much clarity on the decisions I make. I know my direction and my path is clear. It's like we said earlier about having that light that is lighting up the path for you. My intuition always knows the way. I am a spirit having a human experience. And I wasn't sure whether to put that one in or not, because that is, I don't know, it might be a bit far-fetched for some people, but we are all spirit. We are all souls from the universe that have been put into a human body having this experience. And I believe that once our human body passes away, or when it stops functioning, our soul and our spirit carries on. I'm not really sure what I believe happens after that, but I definitely believe that it carries on in some way. Okay, and finally on my list is breath work. And breath work is a great way to connect with what is going on in your body and in your mind. It encourages focus and mindfulness, which allows inner clarity to arise. So as you meditate, going back to meditation, imagine that every time you take a breath, imagine that you're breathing through your third eye. Imagine that every breath in and every breath out is coming through your third eye. This also helps activate it. There are so many different types of breathwork techniques. One that I use in my sessions is box breathing, where you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, and hold for 4. And then you repeat that. And what this does is it calms the mind, it calms the nervous system, and allows you, encourages you into that theta state, which is obviously where your body is relaxed. But other ones include alternate nostril breathing, where you would hold your nostrils. So as you're breathing in one side to the other. Diaphragmic breathing and breathwork meditation. There are so many meditations on YouTube that use breathwork to help you. You know, there will be ones that help you focus on the third eye, for example. Okay, so I just want to finish up by saying that the third eye is the gateway between us now and the future self. If all your lower chakras are flowing well, by tuning in now to the third eye, knowing that the decisions we make with our intuition and that new inner knowledge that we have will be leading us on our path to the future. It is, it's the next step to take. Do you know what I mean? So just remember to shine that light that we talked about bright so you can see the way on your path. Okay. So just before I finish, I would just like to again thank all of you who have left a review. I would love for you to subscribe to, whatever platform you're listening on. Rate and review if you can. 83% listen on Apple Podcasts. So I know you can leave me a review. Don't forget, as I said last week, don't click on an episode to try and leave a review. Click on my podcast name. If you search Love in Life, A Guide to a Positive Mindset, and just go to my page, as it were, and scroll down to ratings and reviews, and then you should be able to leave one there before you click onto an episode. I would just like to personally shout out to those in the northern states of America. Over 50% of my listeners are in the States. And so this is just a personal request to those of you who live in the northern states, just because, every now and again I go through different places. But to those of you in the northern states, so Ohio, Illinois, New York, Wisconsin, I see you. I see you downloading my episodes week after week. And I thank you so, so much. And I hope that I bring some value to you. And all I ask in return is please, please, please just click on that reviews button and please just leave me a review. And what I would love actually is if you were to, in the review, if you could tell me what state you're listening from, that would be amazing. Just so as I know who's leaving what, because I don't know. I know I can see the names of the people. Stop waffling. So yeah, I'd love you to put in your review whereabouts you are. Anyway, as you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, I am really tired now. I'm very drained today. I think all the excitement of the pineal gland earlier has made me really tired. So I'm ready to finish up now. I hope you have an amazing week. I do plan on getting the final episode out to you next week. And it's my birthday next week. So I don't know. If you want to say happy birthday to me, then you can do so by leaving me a review. I would really appreciate that. That would be the best birthday present that I could ask for. But you're also welcome to actually send me a present as well. If you want to, you can contact me via all the usual means. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I hope you've enjoyed listening about the third eye as much as I have enjoyed researching it and finding out all the interesting facts about it. And I equally look forward to looking into the crown chakra next week. So I'll speak to you then, and have a great week, everyone. Bye.